When I was 18, I thought I was being smart. I thought I had found a way to beat time itself. Everyone else was learning, struggling, taking the long road, and I was chasing money that came fast. What no one told me was this: quick money doesn't steal your future loudly. It steals it quietly, year by year, decision by decision. By the time I realized what I had done, my 20s were almost gone, and nothing I had earned could buy them back. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because I lived it, and the cost was far higher than I ever imagined. Kids. I'm Uncle Geoff, a self-made man. I'm 65 now, and everything I have today I built with my own hands, patience, and discipline. I didn't inherit anything. No family money, no shortcuts, no head start. Just time, work, and consequences. I'm not sharing this story to give advice, and I'm not here to motivate anyone. I'm sharing it so you can learn from experience, not theory, not books, not speeches, but from mistakes that were already paid for. Mistakes I made when I was your age. These days, I watch young men trying to get ahead faster than seems possible. Faster money, faster success, faster recognition. There's a constant pressure to make money quickly, to look successful, to keep up with everyone else, even when no one really knows where they're going. It isn't ambition that worries me. Ambition is healthy, necessary. What worries me is impatience, that quiet hunger to skip the hard work and jump straight to the results. The same hunger that once cost me years, I'll never get back. Society doesn't make this any easier. Everywhere you look, media and social platforms paint a picture of overnight success, people living polished lives that often have very little to do with the quiet, unseen work behind the scenes. The problem isn't ambition. It's the expectation that wealth and success should arrive without patience, without discipline, without real skill. I see a generation rushing now, trying to earn before they've learned. And I know the cost of that mistake all too well, because I lived it myself. When I was 18, my world was smaller than I realized. I grew up in a modest household where money was always tight and opportunities felt scarce. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't inherit a thing. Every dollar my family earned was hard fought, and I carried that weight with me every single day. I was ambitious, yes, but I was impatient. I wanted to escape poverty quickly. I wanted to prove to myself and to the world that I could make something of my life. And at the time, chasing quick money felt logical. It promised immediate results, a taste of freedom, and the feeling that I was finally taking control of my future. Looking back now, I can see that my younger self wasn't careless or lazy. He was determined, eager, just trying to survive. And that's why the mistake I made felt reasonable in the moment. At 18, I chose to chase quick money instead of building real, valuable skills. I took any opportunity that promised fast cash, odd jobs, small hustles, anything that looked like a step forward. It wasn't glamorous work, but it felt exciting then. I was earning, I was independent, and for a while, it gave me a sense of accomplishment. At first, it felt rewarding. Every dollar I earned felt like proof that I was smarter or faster than my peers. But the satisfaction didn't last. Slowly, I began to see that while I was busy chasing money, I wasn't learning the skills that could create wealth that endured. My time and energy were spread thin, and the foundation I should have been building, knowledge, discipline, expertise, was being ignored. What felt like progress at 18 was quietly steering me away from the mastery that would eventually define my life. And it took years before I truly understood the cost of that choice. The consequences didn't hit me all at once. There was no single disaster, no dramatic failure. Instead, the cost unfolded quietly, almost imperceptibly, over the years. My 20s became a series of repeated restarts, projects that never gained momentum, opportunities I couldn't fully capitalize on, goals that always felt just out of reach. I was always close, but never grounded. Progress was shallow. I was busy, I was working, but I wasn't building leverage, the kind that only comes from skill, knowledge, and experience. Every shortcut I took in pursuit of fast money meant more time lost later, trying to catch up. Looking back now, the harshest consequence wasn't the money I could have earned. It was the time I lost, the years that could have been spent mastering valuable skills and laying a foundation for something that would last. That realization, that my own impatience had quietly stolen my best years, was one of the hardest lessons I've ever had to face. It wasn't until my late 20s that I began to see the truth clearly. I had been working hard, putting in hours, taking opportunities, and yet the results never matched the effort. At first, I blamed circumstances, luck, timing. But slowly, I realized the real problem wasn't a lack of effort. It was a lack of valuable skills. All the money I had chased, all the quick wins I celebrated, had done little to prepare me for lasting success. What I needed wasn't more hustle. It was mastery, knowledge, and the ability to create leverage in everything I did. There was a quiet, heavy weight in that realization. It stung to see how much time had passed without building what truly mattered. But acknowledging it was also freeing. It gave me clarity, a path forward, and a new respect for the power of learning, patience, and discipline. It was around that time I came across a quote by Benjamin Franklin. "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." At first, it sounded like something written for scholars or businessmen far removed from my struggles. But as I reflected on my own life, the meaning became painfully clear. All the quick money I had chased in my youth was temporary. It gave me nothing that could grow over time. What really mattered, what truly built wealth and security, was the knowledge and skills I had neglected. Franklin's words weren't just advice on paper. They were a reflection of the mistakes I had already lived through. I finally understood that time spent learning, mastering skills, and building real competence compounds quietly, but powerfully, over a lifetime. That realization reshaped the way I approached work, money, and life itself. As I moved into my 30s, I finally began to see the patterns that had been hiding in plain sight. One of the clearest lessons was this: income follows skill. The more capable you are, the more leverage you have in life, whether in business, work, or personal projects. Quick money, the kind I chased at 18, has a ceiling. It can make you feel like you're ahead for a short while, but it can't carry you long term. Valuable skills, on the other hand, compound quietly over time. Learning, practicing, and mastering something that others overlook creates opportunities that grow silently, yet exponentially. That's how I eventually built the life I have today, not through luck, not through inheritance, but by investing in the abilities that mattered most. It's a lesson that took me years to learn, but once I understood it, everything I did from that point forward gained direction, purpose, and real momentum. If I could speak to my 18-year-old self today, I would say this: there are no shortcuts worth taking when it comes to building a life that lasts. I wish someone had made me see that chasing quick money might feel smart in the moment, but it comes at the cost of time, growth, and real mastery. I don't tell you this to give advice or to tell you what to do. I tell you this because I've lived the consequences. I've felt the weight of wasted years and the frustration of realizing too late that the skills I ignored were the very things that could have carried me further, faster. Consider this a quiet warning from someone who's already paid the price. Learn from the mistakes of others if you can. It's far less costly than learning them all yourself. Looking back now, I see how much our lives are shaped not by the money we chase, but by the choices we make and the time we invest. Every year, every decision quietly compounds, whether for better or worse. Facts are cheap. Anyone can read them, memorize them, repeat them. But experience is expensive, and it teaches lessons that books and speeches never can. So, as you move through your own years, take a moment to reflect, not on what others tell you is important, but on what you are quietly building within yourself. Because the measure of a life well lived is not the money in your hand, but the skills, character, and understanding you carry forward. If you want to learn more wealth secrets from the experiences I've lived, subscribe to Geoff's Wealth Secrets. I'll share what life actually teaches, lessons money can't buy.